want to share with others about our legacy, our family, our connections, our survival, a sharing culture. In our culture, there's no word for art. Art is part of who we are. It's our way of sharing our stories. It's sharing our connection to the land. It's sharing important references to our families and to our lifelines and to all that we've been taught. And what I think about too is this important day, like so many that we've had together as we celebrate this grandmother's journey, is when we gather together like this. In our community, it might be a time, in keeping with protocol, to call witnesses so that we become the newspapers that take messages back to our communities about what happened today. But we're here, and I think we're all witnesses today. Each and every one of you will go back to your communities and share the stories that you heard, the connections to the land, what these chests and these stories that have been embedded here, what they mean to you. This is your time to witness what's been shared. I really have to raise my hands to you, my sister and your family, for all that you've done. And I'm really excited to hear all about this.
Suffer our loss of connections to family. I see this as a journey where I can connect with family that I haven't known, that I didn't have the chance to get to know, the aunts and uncles, and also share with the next generation, like my grandchildren and my children, of the realities of what both of my parents had been through as survivors of the Indian residential school. But also at the same time, I look at this as a voice of not just maybe the disrespect of Indigenous people, but Indigenous women, Indigenous families, and those broken connections, but also what that means in those connections to the natural world and the environment, and where we have to bring that back. So I sit here, I'm honored to be brought in by amazing people like Mary Point and the people that have brought me and nurtured me along the way and welcomed me in a good way. And every time that you say in a good way, I'm reminded I'm here in a good way, not to harm anybody. There's things that we have to talk about as Indigenous people as we move ahead that are really challenging. And I could see that we could do it in a healing manner through the arts. And specifically, the biggest reason why I'm here today is not just my parents and honoring them, but it's honoring these children. It's the children that...
It came about because I'm doing a residency at Tata-Stalum. It's in Crescent Beach. And when I first started thinking about this box and what it meant to me, I knew right then and there it was like a moral obligation to kind of represent ancestors that never had the same opportunities to learn, and those that still walk among us. So it came with a lot of mixed emotions. My mom is also a residential school student, so whenever I was coming back from Tata-Stalum, I was also telling her about all the work that we had done. So it's been healing for her as well, just to hear those stories. So again, I just really want to thank everybody that made today happen. Right, Jeff?
So thank you everybody for tuning in online, and for those of you who are here in person to celebrate with us. Before we finish our remarks, the Bill Reid Gallery would like to thank a few people. The province of BC, the City of Vancouver, Heritage BC, United Way, Metro Vancouver, Dummill Foundation, the Rosedale and Robson, and the Chief Dansu James Hart Emerging Artist Program Partner, RBC, for all of their support. We'd also like to thank all of the Bill Reid Gallery staff, board, and volunteers. Dahlia UN for her help with graphic design, and
to honor our ancestors, and to honor all of you here tonight. And when we walk the chest up, I ask that everybody think about those who've gone on, but also including our families, those who are here today. And that's what I just want us to hold that in our hearts, because now is a time for hope. You know, I always think of who do you want to be and how do you want to walk in this world. And, you know, I think about my chest up there, and it was all about, I was originally could have been very dark because I was like, oh, I've been through a lot, like, let's put this on a box. But then I thought about it and I'm like, no, now is a time for that hope. And so I honor you all with this song. I honor my cousin for all the hard work she's put into this, and our grandmothers. Yes.